With everything that's going on in the world, we've seen central bankers quickly respond to the crisis by easing monetary policy or cutting rates. For those who may not be as educated as you or me, what role does this play in the markets?
Well, under Keynesian economics, the idea is that monetary policy is based primarily on the cost of money. The cost of money is interest rates. So if you want to stimulate the economy, you lower interest rates so money costs less. And the less money costs, the more stimulus you get. So if you cut interest rates, you lower them, you're going to increase economic activity and you're going to come out of a recession. And that works until it doesn't work. And now we're at the point where I don't think it doesn't work. I'm just going to say it doesn't work. So they cut interest rates a half a point just a little while ago. And what happened? The stock market fell, didn't rise. So there's only so much funny money that can stimulate the economy. At some point, the psychology of the whole market, or I should say the whole market, but enough of the psychology in the market changes. So the idea that like the US bond is the most absolute investment you can have, it's the most secure asset you can hold. Well, if that were true, then, Civil War bonds would look pretty good right now, but they're not. Bonds are a piece of paper, a promise to pay, and the idea is pay what? And if they're not a gold bond or a silver bond or a corporate bond where you at least get the assets of the corporation, they're just a promise of what the government can tax the people at and give you your interest payment on that bond. So right now, we're in a situation where the more they print, the less valuable it's going to become again. So I do see the dollar rising for a while vis-a-vis other currencies, but vis-a-vis gold, no. So gold is signaling already that the game is getting near the end. The end game is coming up. How long? I don't know. People always want to know when. I don't really know. I'm tired of getting blasted for being wrong. But it's not even a theory. I mean, I have all the monetary history of 5,000 years on my side. And so do basically anyone else in my peer group.
Yep.
So the idea, I think, is we probably don't have a lot of years left, probably a few. And that doesn't mean that we aren't going to get there even sooner. We could, Nick. I mean, it's interesting times. I think the more they print now, the less effect it's going to have. It's been that way for quite some time. But now the markets are noticing. The stock market notices it. The bond market notices it. And the investment managers, pension funds, money markets, you name it. You name the entire financial spectrum is starting to realize like anything that there's a lot of is less valuable. So if there's a lot of dollars, then how valuable is each unit? The answer is the more you water the milk, the less valuable it becomes.
I've got one last question for you, David. It's the crowd favorite. We always ask it. What's it going to take for silver prices to take off?
A resurrection of the consciousness about money or savings or what's real. I'd say probably what's real. I used to sign off years ago, buy real, be real, get real. And I think it's back to that. People will learn either early or late that, the truth is the most powerful thing that you can speak, and that only the truth works in the long run. All fiats fail. And the truth is that they're both called precious metals for a reason. Silver will probably still outperform gold, especially from this 100-to-1 ratio. Just think of what it'll do if it gets back to 80. But anyway, it's going to take a consciousness shift, I think, is what it'll take. And what does that mean? It means people being awake and educating themselves and realizing there is a way out. And I want to add on to that, Nick, 'cause I thought about this before the interview. And I've gotten some fairly concerned people that have said, I've got X amount in the bank and I can't really withdraw it because the bank, if you want to take cash out, treats you like a criminal, and the most they'll give me is 5,000 or 10,000 at the most. And I suggest that you get the money that's lasted for, thousands of years. Write a check to a broker dealer that you trust and get it in silver and gold. So if you got, as an example, 50,000, 100,000, 150,000, and you only need to leave in, 5,000 for your, monthly expenses, and you're worried about a bail-in and you want to bail your own money out to yourself, as you should, in my view, then you can write a check to a bullion dealer and get delivery. or do it over a couple of months. But if you want to cash out of the banking system, you ought to consider cashing out from fiat into something real. And of course, AGX provides that as well. There's a premium on it, but you could go to an AGX, especially you Bitcoin type aficionados or crypto people, and now you can do the same thing. You could go from fiat to the AGX and have yourself, and I am an affiliate, or what am I called, an ambassador of AGX, so I have to disclose that. But it doesn't have to be AGX, but that's just a place to go. But there's aren't many places you can go. You go into the bank and say, I want my 50,000 in cash now. They'll just laugh at you.
Yeah, of course. We even saw this last year when the French committed a run on the banks. It was mayhem. To your point about AGX, we have some very exciting things coming down the pipeline, and we hope that by the end of this year, people will be able to actually take their AGX and cash out directly to fiat at will to pay expenses and bills and so on and so forth. So that method you were speaking of putting your money into something real becomes all the more viable. Yeah, exciting things are coming down the pipeline. And I think that shift in consciousness that you were speaking about is actually already beginning to take place. That this recession, if you want to call it that, is the beginning of this movement, that people are actually starting to wake up and put their money into something real. That's all we have for today, David. Thank you so much for joining us, and take care.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you so much for joining us for our interview with David Morgan, the Silver Guru and founder of the Morgan Report. So glad that you guys could join us. And as always, if this is your first time, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, as well as check out agxpay.com to learn how the power of modern silver money can help you claim financial freedom.